Once upon a time, in the bustling town of Springdale, there lived a young girl named Amanda. She attended a prestigious private high school filled with children from affluent families. Amanda, a bright and aspiring student, desperately sought to fit in with her well-off peers, but her family's modest means often left her feeling out of place. Her father, Mr. Arnold, was a gentleman with a humble occupation as the school's maintenance worker. He toiled hard every day, fixing what was broken and keeping the school grounds immaculate. Amanda's mother, Mrs. Arnold, was equally industrious, managing a small diner in town. One sunny day, to Amanda's horror, her father decided to surprise her at school with a homemade lunch. Wearing his work clothes stained with paint and carrying the meal in a simple container, he approached Amanda and her friends during lunch break. "Who is that?" one of Amanda's classmates asked, eyeing Mr. Arnold curiously. Amanda's face flushed with embarrassment as she hesitated. Looking from her father to her friends, she uttered a lie that would haunt her for a long time. "Oh, that's just our errand boy," she lied, a sharp pang of guilt stabbing her heart as her father's smile faded under her words. Later that evening, Amanda sat in her room, her father's hurt expression replaying in her mind. She knew she had wronged him, but her fear of being judged had overwhelmed her. Her mother, having heard about the incident from a teacher, came to talk to Amanda. "Amanda, why did you refer to your father that way?" her mother asked gently. Tears welled up in Amanda's eyes as she confessed her fears and insecurities about fitting in. Her mother listened intently, her expression one of understanding and sorrow. "Your father might not wear a suit or have a fancy job, but he works hard for us, and he deserves our respect and pride, not our shame," her mother advised, her voice firm but kind. That night, Amanda lay in bed, her mother's words echoing in her ears. She realized the superficiality of her actions and the deep love and sacrifice her parents made for her. The next day, Amanda approached her father, who was busy fixing a broken fence. "Dad, I'm so sorry for yesterday. I was so wrong. You're the hardest working person I know, and I'm proud of you," she said, her voice choked with emotion. Her father stopped his work, looking at Amanda. His eyes were kind, forgiving. "I know you were just trying to fit in," he said, pulling her into a hug. "Just remember, being true to yourself and to those who love you is more important than fitting in." Empowered by her father's forgiveness, Amanda decided to set things right. The following day, she stood up during lunch, addressing her classmates. "I need to correct something I said yesterday. The man I called an errand boy is my father, and I'm proud of him. He works here to make sure we have a great school to come to every day," she declared, her voice steady and proud. Her classmates looked at her, and to her surprise, many nodded in understanding and respect. Amanda felt a weight lift off her shoulders, a burden of untruth and shame she had carried. As days turned into weeks, Amanda found that her honesty had won her more genuine friendships than her facade ever had. Her classmates began to greet her father warmly when they saw him around campus, respecting him for his diligent work. Amanda learned a valuable lesson about integrity and respect. She realized that true friends would accept her for who she was, not for the pretense she put on. She also learned to appreciate the hard work and sacrifices her parents made, seeing them as her true heroes. Years later, Amanda would often reflect on that pivotal moment in her high school years. It had shaped her into a person who valued honesty, hard work, and respect above all. She became a successful professional, but more importantly, she remained a person of character, teaching her own children the values her parents had instilled in her. Through her journey, Amanda transformed her shame into pride, her lies into lessons, and in doing so, she honored her father not just as a maintenance worker, but as her lifelong hero. In the heart of Springdale, Amanda's life seemed to shift abruptly from grace to grass. She found herself engulfed in shame and denial, especially towards her father, Mr. Arnold, whose mere presence became a source of discomfort. One morning, the tension reached a new height when Amanda, clouded by resentment, left the house without touching her breakfast or uttering a single word to anyone. Stella, Amanda's mother, was heartbroken by her daughter's silence and cold demeanor. Determined to bridge the growing gap, Stella decided to prepare a special meal for Amanda, hoping it might soften her heart and lift her spirits. With love and concern bubbling within her, Stella carefully packed the delicious meal and made her way to Amanda's school. As Stella approached, she spotted Amanda sitting under a large tree with her friends, Leela, Lucy, and Sarah. They were all engaged in a lively discussion about the latest gadgets their parents had bought for them. "My dad got me the newest smartphone," Leela exclaimed, flaunting the sleek device. "That's nothing," Lucy chimed in. "My mom got me a gaming console with all the latest games. It's just amazing." Sarah, not to be outdone, held up her wrist to show off her new smartwatch. "Check out my newest smartwatch. It can do so much and is so stylish." Feeling a pang of envy and not wanting to be left out, Amanda concocted a lie. "Well, my parents got me a new tablet. It's really cool and has all the latest features," she declared, hoping her friends wouldn't see through her fabrication. Just as she was elaborating on her fictional tablet, Amanda's heart sank as she heard her mother calling out to her. "Amanda, my precious girl." Turning around, Amanda saw her mother approaching, dressed in simple clothing, her face tired but kind. Her friends looked at Stella with curiosity and slight disdain. "Who is that poor woman calling out to you?" Lila asked, wrinkling her nose in disgust. Panicked and ashamed, Amanda's mind raced. She blurted out, "Oh, that's just our housemaid. She cooks and takes care of our home," trying to mask her embarrassment with a forced smile. Stella, overhearing her daughter's words, stopped in her tracks, her eyes wide with shock and hurt. She couldn't believe her ears. Her own child had denied her in public. Amanda's friends glanced back and forth between Amanda and Stella, confused and intrigued. Overwhelmed with guilt but too embarrassed to admit the truth, Amanda watched silently as her mother, hurt but composed, placed the food gently in Amanda's hands before walking away, her heart breaking with every step. For the rest of the day, Amanda couldn't concentrate. Her mind was haunted by the image of her mother's sad eyes. The betrayal weighed heavily on her, cutting deeper than any words could express. Back at home, the atmosphere was tense. Stella, ever the nurturing figure, continued to reach out to her daughter, hoping to mend the growing rift. She found Amanda in her room, her expression sullen and distant. "Amanda," Stella began softly, "I know it's been tough for you, adjusting to all the changes. But lying about who we are won't make things easier. We are your family and we love you. Nothing will change that." Amanda's eyes met her mother's, and the floodgates opened. Tears streamed down her face as she hugged Stella tightly. "I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry for lying and for being ashamed. I don't know why I did it. I just wanted to fit in." Stella stroked her daughter's hair, her own eyes moist. "Fitting in by denying who you truly are isn't fitting in, Amanda. It's hiding. And you never have to hide who you are, not from me, not from anyone." Over the next few days, Amanda reflected deeply on her mother's words. She realized that her actions had not only hurt her family, but had also chipped away at her own self-respect. Determined to make amends, Amanda approached her school principal to organize a session on family values, where she openly shared her story. In front of her classmates, Amanda spoke candidly about her lie and the pain it had caused. "I lied about my family to fit in, but I've learned that my family, my real family, is my greatest pride," she confessed, her voice strong and clear. Her classmates listened, moved by her honesty and bravery. By the end of the session, Amanda felt a weight lift off her shoulders, a burden of untruth and shame she had carried for too long. Amanda's journey from shame to redemption was a poignant reminder of the power of truth and acceptance. She learned to embrace her roots with pride and to value the unconditional love of her family above all else. As she grew older, Amanda carried these lessons with her, always advocating for honesty and integrity. Her story became a beacon of hope and a testament to the enduring strength of familial bonds. And through it all, Amanda never forgot the simple truth that her mother had instilled in her, that being true to oneself is the greatest form of respect one can ever uphold.